20% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know, but no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him because he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, got a picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote, his will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds, the skill of an artist.
This is 20% skill, 80% fear, be 100% clear, cause Ryu was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse, let's do this the truth. Now
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Shell Center in Sherwood Park, Alberta. This is the first game of the King's Cup tournament for the Canadian Athletic Club United Sport and Cycle Canadians. They're going to be taking on the Lloydminster Blazers. Time has come off the clock. Looks like we're going to clean up the pucks and get started right away. Don't go far. We are skipping the national anthem in this tournament. Also, special tournament rules. We are going 15 minutes for the first period and then 20 minutes for the second and the third. There will not be a flood between the first and the second period, but there will be between the second and the third. That's all the info I have for you right now. I'll finish getting set up, and you can watch the boys clean up pucks. Check. Okay. Now I can hear myself. All right. Before we get started, I'd like to give a big thank you to Mr. Greg Eagle. He's going to be working the camera tonight. And here we go. Ready for the face. James Hare wins it for the Canadians. Puts it over the near side. Jumped on it. Number 10 for Lloyd. Centers that. That's broken up by Frosted. Lloyd keeps it in the zone. Puts it around the near side. Number 12 picks it up behind the net. Cole picks it up for Lloyd. Takes that into the boards. Come back to the point. There's a shot. Black with the save. Sent to the far side. Lloyd with it. Turns around. Canadians steal it back. Oh, Lloyd's going to keep it in the zone for 17. Coming off the point. Moves it over to 21. Low shot. That is wide of the mark. That's kicked off. We're going to get a stop here with 14:25 left in the first period. Just another reminder. First period is 15 minutes long. We're going to have the draw. Far side in the Canadian zone. Lloyd wins it. Lloyd takes that to the boards. Canadians jump on it quickly. Pushed out by Burnett. Burnett moves that over to Thorvaldson, centering pass, looking for Hoare. That is intercepted by number 5, Smith, and put into the Canadian zone. Eagle back to play near side. Smith picks it up on the near boards for Lloyd. Centering pass on the back door. Couldn't go. Lost the handle and goes to the far board. Centering pass picked up by the Canadians. Number 5, Smith, keeping the puck alive for the Blazers on the near side. But Thorvaldson able to bump it out. In his own zone, Morris moves it up to Thorvaldson. Thorvaldson turned over at center. Blazers get it back just on their side of the slice. Sent to the far side. Here's number 9 walking it in. There's a shot. Wide in the mark. Coming in on the left wing was Kelly. Blazers back in their own zone. Pick up the puck. Put it off the far boards. Smith comes over to the near side. Comes in the neutral zone. Thrown up to number 22. That's flipped in the Canadian zone and right back out. Knocked down at center by Bannerman. Bannerman gets that into the Canadian zone. Eagle takes it away. Morris takes a heavy hit but moves it up to Richard. Richard comes up the left side, gets to center, dumps that in. Blazers playing the body hard and heavy to start this game. They've controlled the play for the first 2 minutes. Canadians boot on the near side. Kelly walking it off the board. Eagle flips it out. Up the near side, here's West coming into the zone, comes to the center mark, throws it to the right side, keeps it in the zone on the far side. Here's Lloyd trying to break out. They send the puck behind their own zone. Over to number 15, Cavill. Cavill puts it up the near side, picked up by number 12. And most Canadians keep it in the zone, behind his own net. Cavill centers that. That's broken up by Ulrich at center. Gives it over to Schufelt. Schufelt tries to go up the right side. He's caught by the Blazers, and they're going to turn up the ice. Heading down the ice, Turcotte is going to just get his skates, or his stick in the skates of the advancing Blazers player. We're going to have our first power play of the game. This one going in favor of the Blazers with 12:20 to go in the first period. So Jackson Turcotte, as you can see, as he comes out to center, comes off the bench. Oh, no, wait. This looks like my replay is going to be way behind today. Again. Oh, well. Blazers win the puck in the offensive zone. Put over in the near side. Lamano over to Bernard. There's a shot right on to Black. And Black tucks that underneath his armpit and hangs on with 12:09 left in the first period. The draw will be near side in the Canadian zone. 1:50 left in the Blazers power play. It's right in the feet of the ref. Now it comes loose. Put back to the point by Duffett. Kept in by number 14. He's going to load up a shot. That's knocked down by Duffett. He's going to try and wheel that out. Gets out to center. Goes to the right side. And Burnett's going to put that into the Blazers zone. Blazers coming out the near side. 1:28 left in the power play. Duffett turns around at center again. Puck goes to the far side. Jumped on is Zahara. Tries to leave that behind the net. That's picked up by number 14, Thiessen. Over in the near side to Plamondon. He hands that off to Thiessen, who's going to take that in the right wing into the Canadian zone. Matched by Eagle. Eagle puts him into the boards. Puck comes loose for number 17. Check that, number 11. Burgard. Back to the point. Dotzel walking in. Burgard on the right side. Low shot blocked by Eagle. This one comes off the side of the net. Clearing it down the ice are the Canadians. 45 seconds to go in the Blazers power play as they start in their own end. Up to Burgard on the near side. That's put away by Eagle. Schufelt comes off the bench. Puts up the near boards. Back into the Blazers zone. Blazers. Number 16 playing around his own zone. Clark moves it to the far side. Tries to move that up to and that's broken up by Ulrich. Battle for it in the neutral zone on the far side. Puck rolls back into the Blazer zone. 20 seconds to go in their power play. Starting in at that far corner is Ducherer. Missed a pass at center. Rolls into the Canadian zone. Eagle puts that down the ice. Blazers. Double clutch. They're going to restart. Just as the Canadians player comes on the bench. Off the sin bin. And onto the ice. Blazers get the puck into the Canadian zone. Canadians. Actually, the puck comes back into the Blazers zone. Blazers, Cole moves that up the ice. Frostad takes the puck away from his man. Duffett with the loose puck moves it up the ice. Kept in at the far side. Stick saved by Black. Puck put into the near corner of the Canadian zone. Canadians get a hold of it. They put it down the ice. It's going to roll into the Blazers zone. Coming off the bench. Oh, that's going to be a too many men penalty. It was close there, but certainly easy to call that one. With 9:33 to go in the first period, Canadians. First power play of the game for them. Face off far side in the Blazers zone. Blazers win the draw. Comes back to the point, held in by Hoare. Hoare walks over the near side. Now he passes up Frostad. Near side for Hoare. Hoare walking it down. Tried to throw that down low for Dollywall. Skips behind the net. Thorvaldson sweeps that back to Dollywall. Dollywall back to Thorvaldson. Thorvaldson, sharp angle. He's going to walk it out a bit. Low shot. Right on to goal, and hanging on to that will be Cooper Narrator for the Blazers. Face off will be far side in the Blazers zone. 9:12 to go in the first period. 1:39 to go in the Canadians power play. Canadians win the draw in the offensive zone. Puck comes back to the point for Frostad. Frostad left side for Hoare. Hoare back to Frostad. Frostad puts that on net. That's knocked down in traffic, and the Blazers are going to sweep that down the ice. Blackout to set it up for Frostad. Heavy on the forecheck is Graham for the Blazers. He's going to back off. Frostad puts the near side for Hoare. Back to Frostad. Frostad loosening the skates. Tipped away by Graham. Graham coming in. Has Smith in front. Whoa, shot. Black makes a save. Another one. Black makes another save. What a great set of saves by Bauer Black of the Canadians. Short-handed. The Blazers were coming in looking for an upset goal. 8:38 left in the first period. Canadians still in the power play. 1:06 left with the man advantage as the faceoff will be far side in the Canadian zone. Canadians win the draw. Eagle behind the net gets that over to Morris. Morris hangs on. It's going to reset. Go out to the far side. Get the puck up to Eagle. Eagle receives it. Senders that back, but that's stolen by Dugan. Canadians, Morris picks up the puck behind the net. Right side to Taylor. Taylor centering pass, knocked down. Canadians get it back and then step into the offensive zone offside. Whistle goes with 8:08 left in the first period and 36 seconds left in the Canadians' power play. Draw one by the Canadians. Taking up the right side is Yamniak. Gets the puck back to Morris. Morris left side for Eagle. Eagle with space. He's going to rip that. Oh, that great block there by number 14. Thiessen race down. Here's a breakaway. Kelly 5-hole. And a short-handed goal ends up in the back of the net. Blazers strike first. Short-handed. And the goal comes with 7:53 left in the first period. It's 1-0 Blazers. Canadians still 20 seconds left in their power play. Puck's dropped. Canadians win it. Take it on the far side as Schufelt gets into the Blazers zone. Drops that for Richard. He puts that into the corner. Check that. That was West handling the puck before. Put down low, sharp angle shot. Oh, it's put right on the goal line. And then the Blazers goaltender, Narrator, able to find that just in time. Just 1 second left in the Canadians' power play. Face off near side in the Blazers zone. Puck's dropped. Canadians win it. West with the shot. That's blocked. Dollywall picks up the rebound. He's behind the net, and it looks like the net may have come off its moorings there and will reset near side in the Blazers zone. Blazers come away with the puck. Going behind his own net is Boucher. Upset on the far side. Reverse back to the near side to Ducher. Shared. Moves it up the boards, looking for Burger Run. That's intercepted by the Canadians, and Richard's going to put one quickly on net, right into the crest of Narrator and the Blazers goaltender, making the stop there. 7:15 left in the first period. Blazers out in front after that shorthanded goal, 1-0. The draw near side in the Blazers zone. Blazers win it. Put to the far side by Duchère. Comes out to the neutral zone. Put back in. Bergeron moves that in the near side. That's cut off by Ulrich of the Canadians. Bergeron gets a hold of it again and puts it into the Canadian zone. Icing will be the call here with 6:55 left in the first period. Face off near side in the Blazers zone. Blazers win it. Taking behind the net is Cavill. Tried to stretch that down the ice. We'll have another icing call here. Set back in the Blazers zone with 6:47 to go in the first period. So we're on the Shell Arena at the Sherwood Park Sports Center. All the games at the tournament will be on the Shell ice. Face off far side in the Blazers zone. Canadians win it. Thorvaldson throws it in the corner. Rubbed off the puck. Puck moved over to the near corner. Put up the near side. Duffett keeps it in. Throws it low in the goal. That's a pad save. Kick to the far side. Picked up by Cavill. Moves it to the far side of the ice to number 18, Bannerman. Bannerman throws that down the ice. And we'll have an icing call. Trying to stretch it to Altman, but he couldn't catch up to it. Face off far side in the Blazers zone with 6:17 to go in the first period. Puck's dropped. Blazers win it. Breaking out to the near side. That's turned over at center. Morris over to Eagle. Eagle. Far side for Thorvaldson. Gets that into the... Oh, that was Enriquez Gomez that gets that into the Blazers zone. Canadians get it back. Here's Morris. Near side. It's going to roll around the boards. Enriquez Gomez trying to step onto it. Knocked down by the Blazers. Here they come in transition. Led by Ruttman. Oh, and he tucks that around Black. And it's a 2-goal lead for the Blazers with 5:46 to go in the first period. Not the start the Canadians wanted. They were beat to the puck early, but after the power play started bringing it back. Blazers just upset that momentum. They're up 2-0. Puck thrown out. Back to the Blazers zone. We'll have an icing call. 5:30 to go in the first period. Puck comes into the near corner of the Canadian zone. Ulrich sweeps that to the far side. Turcotte up to Schufeld. Ooh, Turcotte's stick broke on that one. Can't get all the way to the bench. There's a shot by Thiessen. Black with the save. Blazers get the puck back. Stolen back by Taylor. Schufeld chops that out. And it ends up making contact with the Canadians' bench. We'll have the face-off inside the Canadian zone with 5:09 to go in this first period. Canadians win the draw. Here comes Frostad with it. Right side for West. West pulls that against the boards. Comes loose for Frostad. Couldn't escape the attack. Gets it against the boards for West. West down low for Richard. Richard looking for Dollywall. Dollywall behind the net. Gets edged off the puck by number 17, Plamondon. Blazers going to put that down the ice. Frostad got a piece of it, so icing waved off. Black wants to move that to the near side. Blazers intercept that. Duff it with it. Far boards for West. Centering pass for Richard. Richard coming through center. Puts that up the right side. Puck bounces behind the net. Already moves to the near side. Dollywall knocks it down. Picks it up in the near corner. Then he's put against the boards. Burnett only almost chipped that free, but coming away with it is a number 12 Amos. Right side. Here's Beaumont. Oh, there's a high shot by Bergeron. And that is going to end up out of play as he just flips it too high and out of bounds. Faceoff will be near side in the Canadian zone. .405 to go in the first period. Canadians move it around the far side. Here's Eagle off the glass and out. Clark back to play it for the Blazers. Far side, Thorvaldson got a piece of that. Clark gets it back though. Moves it up to number 21, Monroe. Monroe coming into the Canadian zone. Can't get past the D. Puck comes back to Cole though. Cole with it. Moves that up the boards. Burnett trying to push it away. Cole comes back, retrieves it. Put down low for Monroe. Monroe over to Cole. Cole with a shot. And it's a 3-0 start for the Blazers. Third goal of the period comes with 3:30 to go in the first period. Canadians having trouble getting out of their own zone. Blazers came to play. They are definitely the more physical team in this first period. Canadians trying to finesse it in. Don't have the answer yet. Center, pucks drop. Canadians win the draw. Ulrich with it in his own zone. Far side for Turcotte. Turcotte up for Yamniak. Throws that up the boards. First one to it is Graham for the Blazers. Graham with it. That's turned over. Oh, Zahara couldn't face the net. Throws it deep into the Blazers zone. Who move it to the far side. Yamniak comes back to center, knocks it down. Back check by Turcotte. Puck comes back to Turcotte. Turcotte up to Yamniak. Chips that into the neutral zone. Coming back for it was Zahara. Tried to move it over to Enriquez Gomez, and the Blazers got a piece of that. Put the puck into the Canadian zone. Ulrich with it. Over to Turcotte. Turcotte far side for Yamniak. Yamniak over to Zahara. Zahara grabs that at center, puts that deep into the Blazers zone. Narrator sets that up behind the net. Over the near side. Picked up by number 19, Redden. Collision behind the net. Puck comes loose, and the Blazers going to flip that out to center. Duff it. Knocks it down. Puts that back into the Blazers zone. Narrator sets that up. Far side. Clark coming away with it. Gets that up to number 23, Cole. Comes into the Canadian zone. Put over the near side. And here's Connor Young with it. He's going to put that deep into the far corner. And they're going to call that icing. I'm not too sure. I thought he got a couple steps over center here. Either way, I can't change the ref's mind from here. So the face-off will be near side in the Canadian zone with 2:05 to go in the first period. Look at that. Maybe Young was just on this side of center. Puck comes back to the point. It skips past Thiessen. He hustles back, picks it up behind his own net. Cut off on the far side by Young. Puck comes to the near boards. Morris keeps that in. Kept in by Morris, only for a second. Hustling down is Cole. Cole coming to the right side, makes the toe drag. That's taken away by Frostad. Frostad up the boards to Young. Young chips that, looking for Frostad. That's knocked down by the Blazers. They keep that in the Canadian zone. Cole in the near corner. Hangs onto it. Now moves it back to the point to Thiessen. Thiessen fires that. That is tipped to the near side. Cole picks it up, puts it down low. Looking for number 9, Kelly. Canadians get it back. Here's Frostad. Flips that out to the neutral zone. Knocked down by Thiessen. Thiessen over the far side to Plamondon. Plamondon is going to set up behind his own net. 1:09 to go in the first period. Thrown out to center. Morris knocks that down. Gets it over to Dollywall. Dollywall looking for a shard. That's intercepted by number 12, Amos. Amos come over to the near side. Wanted to go back door looking for number 8, Doxel, but it comes off the far corner. Canadians with it. Ulrich throws that off the near boards, and it'll roll the length of the ice. An icing call here with 46 seconds to go in the first period. Draw will be far side of the ice in the Canadian zone. Blazers win it. They get it back at the point. That is fired into traffic, knocked down by Eagle. Stepping into the slot is Amos, but he couldn't keep control of the puck. Canadians turn it up the ice. Here's West, brushing it up the left wing. Drops that back for Ulrich. Ulrich moves that back to West. Skips over to Dollywall. Dollywall behind the net. Feeling instant pressure. Blazers with another level of speed in this game. Canadians unable to match. Richard puts that down low. Dollywall back to Richard. Richard couldn't receive it cleanly, but he does get over to Dollywall. Dollywall back to the point for Ulrich. Ulrich off the skate at Dollywall over to West, and West just missed swiping it to the net. Clark pulls that off the boards for the Blazers. Put out to the neutral zone, and the buzzer goes on the first period. An outstanding one for the Lloydminster Blazers. Canadians will take this brief pause for a gut check, come back strong here for a second period. Once again, no flood for the first intermission. There should be for the second. Second period, now we'll have the extra 5 minutes. Put back on the clock. It will be set at 20. And we'll just wait patiently for the teams to break out and get ready for the second. So the Blazers, top of their division, with 18 wins and 2 losses in the regular season. Canadians currently sit third in their division. Really just 8 points behind the Blazers, but might not be a fair comparison. All right, here come the teams ready to go for the second. Puck's dropped. It's put into the Blazers zone. Coming back for it is Ducher. Canadians shot from the far side, low onto Narrator. He's going to make that save. 95 times out of 100. 19:46 left in the second period. Face off far side in the Blazers zone. Blazers come away with the puck. They pick it up behind their own net, puts it in their side. Turcotte rushes in on it. Burnett over to Turcotte. Turcotte down low in the slot for Horn. It skips past him. Altman picks that up for the Blazers. Outslits that to Monroe. Monroe straight path to the net. Black with the save. Picks up the rebound. Swept back to the line. Blazers keep it in. Flip it up high. Black reaches out. picks that out of the air and hangs on with 19:22 left in the second period. That transition is unreal from the Blazers. Certainly a strength in their game. Curious to see how many breakaway goals they have. Enriquez Gomez gets that up the ice to Zahara. Comes into the Blazers zone, but they promptly up the near boards. Blazers near side in the Canadian zone. Centering pass broken up by Frostad. Frostad trying to turn up the ice. He has to sweep it over to Yamniak. Yamniak, left side or far side for Enriquez Gomez. Loses the handle, goes to battle for it in the zone. Morris keeps that in. Canadians still keeping that in. Good job there by the Canadians. Now it's flipped down low. Waiting for it is Gavel. Put to the far side. Put up the boards to Smith. Smith throws that down the ice. Looking for Rutten. Rutten throws that on. And it looks like a penalty will be coming, I'm guessing, to the Blazers. Oh, they're going to call it hooking. I'm wrong. Again, wrong about icing, wrong about penalties. Let's see if I could be right about the Canadians killing off this power play. Maybe even getting a shorthanded one themselves. Whoops, wrong team. I'm pretty wishful, huh? 18:29 left in the second period. It's 3-0 for the Blazers. They are on the power play with the face-off near side in the Canadian zone. Shot from the point. Knocked down by Black. Rebound into the far corner. Blazers moving on the far side. Back to the point to Cavill. Far side for Rutten. Back looking for number 18. Looks like the net may have come off there. Play stops with 18:07 left in the second period. 1:38 left in the Blazers power play. Blazers with the draw or the face-off win. There's a shot by number 22 just over the net. That was Dugan taking that shot. He lost the handle of the puck. Eagle makes him pay and clears the zone. 1:20 to go in the Blazers power play. Starting behind his own net. Number 14, Thiessen, gets it up the ice to number 22, Dugan. Dugan takes that down low. Short side. Black with the save. Canadians put that out, and it rolls back to the Blazers zone. Thiessen to play it with 1 minute to go in the power play. Sweeps that back to number 17, Plamondon. Plamondon moves that up to Kelly. That's disrupted by Turcotte, but the puck comes over to number 23, Cole, and he gets it into the Canadian zone. Drops that back to number 17, Plamondon. Plamondon, shot, hit a man, goes wide. Canadians put it down the ice. 35 seconds to go in the power play. Thiessen picks up the puck, shakes off a check from Richard. Goes to the far side to number 23, Cole. Cole hangs onto it. Comes in the left wing in the Canadian zone. Tries to take a power move right to the net. Black holds that strong. And we'll get a whistle here with 16:45 left in the second period. 16 seconds left in the Blazers power play with a face-off near side in the Canadian zone. Like Doltzel wins the faceoff for the Blazers. On the right side, who has it? Ducher has it thrown into the slot. It bounces up and towards Black after he made the first save. Came off his own player and back to him. He'll hang on, covering the puck up with 16:32 to go in the second period. 3 seconds to go in the Lloydminster power play. Doltzel and Thorvaldson. Doltzel ties up Thorvaldson. There's a blocked shot by the Canadians. High shot. Black takes that off the shoulder. And the whistle goes with 16:25 to go in the second period. Looks like these moorings are a little loose tonight. That seems to be consistently coming off at both ends. Face off near side in the Canadian zone. Blazers win it. Directed down low. Picked up on the far side by Eagle. Tries to outlet that to Hoare. He's checked in the process. Flipped up the ice. Here's Burnett rushing onto it. Couldn't beat Clark to the puck. Followed up by Hoare. Puts that into the far corner. Picked up by number 8, Doltzel. Doltzel throws that in the neutral zone. Ulrich's going to pick that up for the Canadians. He goes behind his own net. Tries to move it up the far side. Knocked down by the Blazers. Thrown into the slot. Right side. Black with the save. 11 comes over. Handling it is Bergund. Throws that back to the point. Burnett had that covered, and it slips past Duchère. And Duchère for the Blazers. Flips that up to Bergen. Bergen puts that into the neutral zone. Picked up by Cole. Cole comes in the left side. Throws it to the far corner. Picked up by Bergund. And a high shot on the Black is fielded. And he hangs on with 15:18 left in the second period. Face off far side in the Canadian zone. Blazers win it. Drop it off to the right side. Put it into the corner by the Canadians. Blazers. Bannerman gets it back. Comes loose. Enriquez Gomez tries to take a swipe at it. Loose puck picked up by Ackerman. Walks it down. Shot wide there. Put up the far side. Here's the Blazers. Pick up the puck, put it over the near side to Cavill. Cavill slides that up. That's turned over at the line. Here's a Hare coming in. Right side for Yamniak. Yamniak puts that down low. Steer side by Narrator. Battle for it in the near corner. Blazers sweep that to the far side. Picked up by Altman. Moves that up to Monroe. Monroe comes into the Canadian zone. Puts himself offside, but gets back to the neutral zone and resets for the Blazers. Puck lost. Enriquez Gomez. Offside called with Prostad trying to head into the zone there. 14:21 to go in the second period. Still 3-0 for the Blazers. Face off near side, just outside of the Blazers zone. Canadians come in. Here's West. Up the right side. Gets the puck down to Dollywall. Dollywall tries to center that. Turnaround Richard. That's kicked away by the Narrator. Thrown out to center. Canadians get it back. Here's Richard. Near side for West. Chipped up, looking for Dollywall. He was beat there by Thiessen. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Number 19, Rutten picks it up. Goes out in front. Oh! And it's another one for the Blazers. A streaking player on the far side. Receives the pass and tucks that around the Canadians' goaltender. It's 4-0 for the Blazers after Graham rushes in unchecked. Blazers win the next draw. They take it into the near side. Battle for it behind the Canadians net. Put over to the far side. Dugan Throws that in the slot. That's knocked back. Comes back to the point. There's a shot. Black makes the save. Comes loose for Schufeld. Schufeld chips that up the ice. Taylor with Young heading towards the net. Taylor couldn't sweep it over to him. Back to the point. There's a shot by Eagle. Wide. Comes over to the near side. Ulrich directs that towards the net. That's knocked down. Here's Monroe taking it back for the Blazers. There's a shot. Black with the save. Had that lined up. And play stops here with 13:07 left in the second period. Draw will be near side in the Canadian zone. Canadians win it. Frostad gets that out to the neutral zone. Hoare picks up the puck. Puts that around the near side. Dumped into the Blazers zone. Clark with it. Lost control. Goes into the corner. Thorwaldson puts that back to the point for Frostad. Frostad with a shot. Oh, that is tipped just wide. Hoare couldn't knock it down. Hoare with the puck, though. Leaves that. Puts that back to the point. There's a shot by Morris. Comes in the slot. Backhand by Burnett. Followed up. Oh, what a save by Narrator. Hoare keeps going. The puck's still loose. Oh, and the Canadians can't buy one there. Narrator with a leaping save to keep the score blank. Wow, what a save by Narrator. He was out of position. The Canadians had a clear shot, but Narrator, desperation save, making the stop with 12:32 left in the second period. Face off near side in the Blazers zone. Canadians come over with the puck. Blazers chip it back. Held in the line by Frostad. Frostad takes that to the far side. He's upended, but followed by Enriquez Gomez, put on net. And Zahara's tip just goes wide. Cavill with the puck behind the net. Going to the far side. Held in the line by Morris. Morris directs that towards the near corner. Enriquez Gomez keeps that in. Over to Zahara. Over to Yamiak. Yamiak shot comes off the glass. Cavill with it. Every time the Canadians... Ooh, that could have been holding, but we're going to allow that to keep going. Short side for the Blazers. And Black had the post sealed off. He makes the save with 11:49 left in the second period. Every time the Canadians get a shot off, they're paying dearly being checked right after. Lloyd, heavy to the body. Face off far side in the Canadian zone. Canadians win it. Duffett puts it behind the net. Turcotte's pass knocked down. Blazers keep it in for a moment. Canadians get it back. Thrown up the near side. Dollywall skating onto it. In front is Richard. Dollywall tries to feed that to Dollywall. Dollywall tried to feed that to Richard. Comes off the stick of Bannerman. And the Blazers goaltender Narrator gonna cover that loose puck up. 11:30 to go in the second period. Face off near side in the Blazers zone. West intercepts that pass, takes that into the corner, looking for the pass. Gets it over to Dollywall. Dollywall short side, jammed and goes to the far boards. Duffett directs that down low. Comes to West on the near side. West back to the point to Turcotte. Turcotte directed on, rolls off the boards. Rebound put just to the near side. Blazers get it back. Smith centering pass up to number 19. Comes in on Black, tries to go around. Oh, and it's another one. Beat to the far side. Power move. And the backhand. And it's 5-0 for the Blazers. Canadians put in some promising shifts there. Couldn't get it past Narrator. And one loose break by the Blazers, and the puck ends up in the back of the net. 5-0 for the Blazers. Puck in the neutral zone. Pomondon flips that up. Rolls over the near side. Centering pass. Comes back. There's the shot by Kelly, wide. Cole picks it up in the corner. Saying the net came off here. So the whistle goes with 10:31 to go in the second period. Black comes out of the net, replaced by Webster. Canadians win the draw in their own zone. Turned over in the neutral zone. Kelly with it. Moves the puck up to Durden. On the right side, there's a shot. Webster counts out the challenge. And makes the save. Covers it up quickly. Gets the stop with 10:13 left in the second period. Face off far side in the Canadian zone. Lloyd wins it. There's a shot right onto Webster. Webster takes that in the crest and hangs on with 10:08 to go in the second. With that goalie change, Canadians looking for a jump to see what they can do with the draw in their own zone. Blazers win it. Shot directed towards the net. Hits the man, goes wide. Canadians move it up the near side. Jammed into the Blazers zone. Picked up by Hoare. Hoare trying to feed that to the far side, just wide. Back to the point for Morris. Morris down low, looking for Hoare. It skips past him. On the right side, Frostad pinches in, picks up the puck. Frostad backhand by Thorvaldsen. And right on to Narrator. He makes the save there with 9:42 to go in the second period. Nice pinch on the near side by Frostad. Gets it over to Thorvaldsen, but Thorvaldsen had that on the backhand. Couldn't snipe it. Canadians win the face-off in the offensive zone. Puck comes back. Here's a rip. Blocker's save by Narrator. Battle for it on the boards. Thorvaldsen trying to walk it off. Over. Flips it to the open side. Frostad pinches in from the point. Puck comes over to Burnett. Thorvaldsen with the puck again. Hanging on the far side. Turns around. Down low for Hoare. Hoare backhand shot. And that is going to end up underneath the pads of Narrator. And the Canadians unable to crack the Blazers' defense and goaltender. We're going to stop here with 9:10 left in the second period. Face off far side in the Blazers zone. Quick one on net. Oh, and kicked away. Yamniak had a half a stick blade, or he would have put that in on the rebound. Blazers with the puck. Turn around at center. Duffett fires that into traffic. Canadians get it back, though. Here's Yamniak over to the near side. Thrown in by Duffett. Narrator picks that up, hands that over to Cavill. Cavill throws that to the far side. Turcotte pinches in. Comes out to the line, kept in. Enriquez Gomez over to Zahara. Zahara, there's fired. Blocker saved by Narrator. Enriquez Gomez on the far side. Duffett can keep it in the line. Here come the Blazers back the other way. Monroe on the near side. Turcotte follows. Back door. Oh, and it's put off and in. The Blazers, number 23, Cole, as the trailer picks up the puck, puts it into the back of the net. It's 6-0. 6-0 for the Blazers, as the Canadians just can't find the back of the net against Lloydminster. They've had 3-4 really good chances in the period here. But the Blazers, all it takes is a crack in the armor, and they're putting it into the Canadians' net. Here is jammed through the slot onto the far side. Blazers walking it down. Cavill at the point. Shot blocked by Schufelt. Blazers pick it up on the near side in the Canadian zone. Now the Canadians get it back. Frostad got it to the line, but not out. Maybe a delayed offside as Blazers look like they're tagging up. Eagle puts that near side. It skips just past Richard. Richard, though, knocks it down to the line. Clement tried to jam that in. Put to the far side. Cavill picks that up for the Blazers. Puts that down. Intercepted by Eagle. Up to Dollywall. Dollywall, centering pass. Gets that to Richard. Richard, right side to Frostad. Frostad coming over. Hangs on. He's clipped on the play. Oh, that is baloney. Graham comes away with it. I guess the Canadians can't buy a call either. Eagle follows his man. Blazers with it. Centering pass. That's chipped away. Put out high. Near side. Still in the Canadian zone. Clement takes it down low. Moves it back to Kelly. Down low for Clement. Backhand shot. And that is backhanded right on to Webster. Makes the save there with 6:42 to go in the second period. And it looks like Frostad will be in the box for some extracurricular after the whistle here. I didn't really catch it. Let's see if we can see it on the replay. Remember, the replay is way behind here. Oh, I don't know. Interference called on Frostad. Really didn't capture it on the camera. So Lloyd on the power play. Canadians win it. Sent over to the near side. Young puts that into the Blazer zone. Put to the far side. Here's West. Switches with Taylor. Clement picks it up for the Blazers. Centering pass knocked down by Young. Clement with it again. Young knocks it down once more. Comes loose. Young comes loose. Here's a fired on net. Oh. So, Frostad did head to the box, but the Canadians have 5 on the ice. Might be a rule I'm not familiar with, because I don't see one in the Blazers sin bin. And there's no penalty on the board. I'll have to check with Scott. I might have missed that rule. I didn't want to say it before it happened, but if the Blazers get to 7, we go to runtime. Oh, Thorvaldsen puts that just wide off of the draw, trying to search for that far post. Burnett knocks it down. Blazers come away with it. Here's Amos up the ice. Puts that up the near side. Turcotte rubs him away from the puck. Chipped over to the near boards. Thorvaldsen up the near side looking for Burnett. Chipped up. Oh, Blazers find it back in their own zone. Clark with it. Clark up the near side. Knocked down by Bergeron, and Enriquez Gomez gets the puck back into the Blazers zone. Blazers starting again. Thorvaldsen stops that exit, but they do get it out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Duffett. Duffett gets that over to Burnett. Chopped into the Blazer zone. Amos turns that up the ice. Turcotte back in his own zone. 5 minutes to go in the second period. Turcotte put that up the near boards. That's going to be an icing call. And play stops with 4:55 to go in the second period. Face off near side in the Canadian zone. Canadians come away with it. See here, Yamniak blew a wheel, but got it out to the neutral zone, and the Blazers put it right back in the Canadian zone. Eagle, far side for Ulrich. Ulrich up the ice for Hoare. He kicked it into the neutral zone, picked up by Bannerman. Bannerman sets that back to number 19. I think that was Rutten. Canadians able to keep it in zone. Yamniak puts that back to the point. Ulrich with a shot, and it's in. There we go. That's the answer we wanted from the Canadian about 25 minutes ago. Canadians finally on the board. And they've begun their ascent of that very tall hill. Monstrous mountain that they call Lloydminster Blazers. But they got one back, and it's 6-1 in favor of the Blazers after that Canadians goal at full strength. Puck put back into the Blazers zone. Cavell picks it up. Dolly Wall chips that down to the far side. Cavell regains possession of the puck. Richard knocked it down only for a second, followed up by Graham. Graham takes the right side into the Canadian zone. Ulrich puts him to the far side. Turned over. Here's Schufelt. Knocks that down. That could have been a hand pass. Not going to call that. Play continues on. Blazers near side. Eagle lifts the skip of Graham. Goes back for the loose puck. Wheels to the far side. Drops that back for Ulrich. Ulrich moves that up the middle. That's cut off by number 15, Cavell. Put to the far side to Rutten. Rutten near side for Cavell. Smith completes the dump in, and it goes into the Canadian zone. Ulrich with it, battling against the boards against Rutten. In to help comes Smith. Comes loose for Smith. Richard puts the puck against the boards. Rutten with it. Oh, there's a sharp angle shot. Oh, I think Webster just got a piece of it. Rolls over the net. Blazers try to center that. That's knocked down by the Canadians in the skates of Richard. Richard finally finds it. Couldn't get out of the zone. Turned around. And it's swept over to the near boards. Plamondon activates. Takes that in the corner. Goes across the ice. Skips to the far side. Thiessen's going to fire that wide. Plamondon on the near side. Picks up the puck. Takes that down low. Eagle follows him. Now he trades off with Richard. Richard takes him into the boards. Now it's put up the ice. Dollywall couldn't chip it around Thiessen. Thiessen comes up the near side. Gets it over to Kelly. Kelly, far side for Rutten. Rutten to Plamondon. Plamondon over to Kelly, and Kelly couldn't finish the job. Certainly had most of the net open for him. Hoare with the puck up to Yamniak. Yamniak coming up the near side. Steps inside, back outside. Low shot. Ooh, just missing that far post. Smart shot by Yamniak. Just couldn't get it on. Another one's right out in front. Still available. And it looks like Narrator is going to finally cover that one up with Yamniak battling in front for the Canadians. 2:11 to go in the second period. We'll have the draw far side in the Blazers zone. Canadians win the draw. Decide who's going to shoot. It was Hoare Duffett. Hoare picks up the puck, puts it deep for Zahara. Tried to swing that back to Yamniak. Knocked below the net. Yamniak does win the battle, though. Gets it back to the point to Morris. Morris fires that on net. That's knocked down by Cole. Cole gets that up the ice to Kelly. And the puck's on the near side in the Canadian zone. Cole with it. Picks it back up after initially losing it. Low shot. Webster with the save. Here comes Yamniak. Splits the D. Yamniak straight to the net. Here he goes. There's a shot. Oh, off the iron. He follows it up. Yamniak couldn't get the rebound. Cole sweeps that into the near side. Picked up by Kelly. Kelly fires that down the ice. We'll have an icing call here with 1:21 to go in the second period. Nice move by Yamniak. Out-hustled the Blazers defense, but he had to, all three of them converged on him quite quickly. And he just couldn't get the clean shot he wanted. He did an excellent job ripping it off, though. Hits the post, and it stays out. Face off near side in the Blazers zone. Blazers come away with the puck behind his own net. Bannerman, far side. Young knocks that down for the Canadians. Followed up by Dotzel, moves that up the ice. Over to number 12, Webster with the save. Great job there by the Canadians goaltender. Here's Cavell. Feeds that to the far side. Instead it was tipped, so icing waved off. Battle for it down low. Taylor moves that to the outside. Blazers knock that down, center that. That's off a skate, goes below the goal line to the far side. 36 seconds to go in the period. Blazers have the puck in the Canadian zone. Canadians sweep it out to the neutral zone. Doltzel. Oh, Young almost picked that off, but receiving the pass was Batterman. Batterman gets that into the Canadian zone. Blazers right in front was number 12. There's the shot just wide by Burger End. And I think the net came off again, so the whistle goes with 13 seconds to go in the period. Face-off, far side in the Canadian zone. Both teams making full sail changes. Puck put to the far corner in the Canadian zone. Thorvaldsen flips that out to center. Knocked down by Plamondon. Blazers on the far side. Puck rolls towards Webster and the buzzer goes on the second period. Teams expected to head to their benches here. Looks like the Zamboni door is open. Let me just wait and see. Yeah, okay. So now the Canadians heading to their locker room. And, well, the Canadians started battling back in that second period. I think they started very slow in the first. Took them a 6-goal spot for the Blazers before they could put one of their own in. But they've been very close, very close for the second half of the second period. Let's see if they can roll that into a stellar third and come back on the Blazers. We're going to take a break here, folks, and let the Zamboni do its work and let our sponsors have a word. We'll see you back here for the third period. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the third period. We're at the Shell Center in Sherwood Park, Alberta, for the Kings Cup. First game for each team in the tournament. Off the draw, Blazers put the puck into the Canadian zone. Looks like offsides. We got a whistle with 19:55 to go in the third. The Blazers are up 6-1 on the Canadians after they had a stellar stellar first period, good second period. And somewhere in the second period, they chased out the Canadian starting goaltenders, replaced by number 1, Kai Webster. Blazers put that up the near side. Bannerman rips that just wide of the mark. Arm of the official is up. We're going to get a penalty here. Cross check being issued to, I believe, Duffett. That was an objectionable. So the Blazers on the power play with 19:28 left in the third period. Wait, they moved the puck all the way down. I have the wrong players. It was the Canadians who touched the puck when the whistle went, but they moved the draw down into the Lloyd zone, which means they took the better half of the penalties there. I'm guessing the boys were just entertaining each other in front of the Canadians netminder. So Canadians on the power play with 19:27 to go in the third period. Eagle with the fire. Oh, that is just... Narrator makes the save. Puck over to the far side. Here's Dollywall. Dollywall sweeps that back, looking for Thorvaldson. Thorvaldson back to the point to Eagle. Eagle back to Thorvaldson. Thorvaldson rips that into traffic. Puck comes back to him. He's going to move that down to Dollywall. It skips past him. Horror sends it back to Dollywall. Dollywall in front, looking for Zahara. That is just off his stick. Eagle keeps that alive. Down to Horror. Horror on the near boards. Back to the point to Eagle. Eagle, right side for Thorvaldson. Back to Eagle. Eagle rips that high. And Narrator uses the glove to stop play with 18:47 left in the third period. 1:20 left in the Canadians' power play. We'll have the draw far side in the Blazers zone. Canadians win it. Trying to direct it towards the net. Let's put over to the near side for Horror. Horror back to the point for Eagle. Goes right side. Dollywall back to Thorvaldson. Centering pass broken up by number 5 Smith. Puts the puck down the ice. Webster out to play it. Sends that out the far side. That's chipped away by Graham. Graham with it takes that into the corner. Thorvaldson engages with him, and Horror finds the loose puck. 45 seconds to go in the power play. Horror moving up the ice. Near side for Zahara. Zahara around the board. Skips over to Dollywall. Dollywall engages with number 17 Plamondon on the far side. Oh, puck put just over the net. Swept back. From Zahara back to Dollywall, back to Zahara, over near side for Yamniak. Ooh. Yamniak at the point, down low for Zahara. Flipped in front, trying to bounce that off of Dollywall. Thorvaldson, centering pass, knocked down by the Blazers, and the puck put into the Canadian zone. That's going to do it for their power play. Morris moves that up to Yamniak, who chips that. Does not chip that in. And we'll have an icing call with 17:22 to go in the third period. Face off near side in the Canadian zone. Blazers win it. Ullman with a shot. And Webster saw that at the last moment. Reaches over and stops play with a 17:18 left in the third period. Face off near side in the Canadian zone. Canadians win it. Morris behind the net. Over for West. West trying to spring Enriquez Gomez loose. He couldn't chip it in. And we have an icing call. 17:10 left in the third period. The draw will be in the far side of the Canadian zone. It's dropped. Blazers win it. They have it at the point. Thrown over to the near boards. Tipped in by Altman. Back to the point to Clark. Put down low. Oh, off the side of the net. Enriquez Gomez trying to move it around. Clark wins that battle. Centering pass up to Yamniak. Yamniak come to the right side. Switches over to the left. Couldn't get through the second defenseman. Stopped the line by Ulrich. Ulrich walking it down. There's a shot. Glove save. Narrator. And Blaze stops with 16:38 left in the third period. Face-off will be near side in the Blazers zone. Puck's dropped. Blazers win it. They take it behind their own net. Number 15 Cavill reverses it back to the near side. To the point. Ulrich keeps that in. Tried to feed that down low for Dollywell. Puck chipped up, hits the Raptors, and we'll have a face-off inside the Blazers zone. 16:23 left in the third period. Richard ready to take the draw against Bannerman. Nope, that was not Bannerman, that was Gotzel. Canadians have that in the far corner. Comes loose for Dollywell, and then not loose. And picking up the loose puck is Amos, who puts that out to the neutral zone. Canadians knock it down, put it back into the Blazers zone. Blazers, Cavill puts that up the near side. That's cut off by Ulrich. Oh no, it skirts past. Here's Bergen stepping in, offside. A little bit of a late call, but it does benefit the Canadians as Ulrich able to slow up the attacking player just long enough and his teammates go offside. 15:55 left in your third period. 6-1 for the Lloydminster Blazers. Blazers win another draw. Bannerman goes to the far side over to number 15 Cavill. Put that into the Canadian zone. Duffett moves behind the net looking for Eagle. Chopped up by, I think that was Taylor. Sorry, that was Burnett over to Thorvaldsen. Comes up the left side. Offside called on the entry with 15:40 left in the third period. Face off. Won by the Canadians, but the Blazers get it back as soon as they step into the zone. Eagle, far side. Oh, almost a nice play by Burnett back to Thorvaldsen. But the Blazers get a hold of it, put it into the Canadian zone. Canadians get Duffett on the far side. Stopped at the line by Bannerman. Or that was Plomondon keeping it in. Sends it down low in the Canadian zone. Here on the near side, number 22, Dugan. Comes back to the point. Here's Thiessen. That hit traffic. Knocked down by Duffett. Duffett off the glass. Can't get it out past Thiessen. Duffett gets it back. Pressured by Dugan. Dugan walking it in. Buffett beats him to the puck. Eagle, far side. Can't get it around Plomondon. Taylor was looking to spring loose. Puck put into the near corner. Dugan goes in. Back to Thiessen at the line. Enriquez Gomez chops it down, but can get out of the zone. Eagle with it. Looking for Burnett. That's going to be put down the ice. Icing waved off here as... don't really know. Maybe it's a bad change by the Blazers. I think they just want to keep play going. Ooh, Canadians almost feeding West in that high slot. Young battles it back. Low shot. Narrator with a save. Rebound goes behind the net. Young comes back for it. Blazers retrieve the puck. Thiessen send that in the zone. Frostad knocks that down. He spent enough time in the box. He's back on the ice after serving the misconduct. And Frostad puts that in the near side into the Blazers zone. Battleford on the far side. Blazers trying to come out the far side. Rutten takes that against the boards. Comes loose. Here's Frostad. Over to West. West tried to fire that back with Richard sitting in front. Oh, that was Young sitting in front. Check that. Canadians move that into the Blazers zone. Picked up by Clark. Stolen back by Yamniak. Yamniak comes up the left side. Clark jumps the puck off his stick. Canadians with it again. Here's Yamniak. Feeds that down low. Richard lets that skip to the far side. Pinching in is Turcotte. Blazers grab the puck again. Move it around the near side. Comes back to the point. Here's Ulrich with it. There's a shot trying to use the screen. That's knocked down. Poor with the puck in the near corner. Slides that down for Yamniak. Yamniak has to chase that to the far side. Moves that up the boards to Turcotte. Back down low. It skips down to Hoare. Hoare spins out of the corner with it. Tried to move it back to the point. That was taken away by Monroe. Blazers take it back into their own zone. Stolen back by the Canadians. Here's Hera. He couldn't get to the net. Blazers get it back. Comes out to center. Schufelt comes off the bench, chips it down in the neutral zone and gets it into the Blazers zone. Picked up by Ducher. Gets that out to center. Near side coming in is Monroe. Crosses over to the far side and then rubbed off the puck aggressively by Richard. Ulrich with it. Gets that up to Schufelt. Schufelt choosing the outside lane. Couldn't get the centering pass. Waiting for it was Richard. Here comes a battle down low. Blazers coming away with the puck. Turned around in the zone. Dollywall with it. Feeds that back against the grain looking for Richard. And the Blazers chip that safely to the far boards. Puck comes out to center. Coming away is Dotzel. Steps into the Canadian zone. Offside. And the whistle goes with 11:22 left in the third period. Canadians being put to the outside. They got more zone time now. Moving the puck well, but they just can't get towards the net. Blazers win the draw. Put it up the near side. Eagle gets the puck up to, I want to say Schufelt, but I can't tell. Oh, that was Burnett, pardon me. Put down low, Neurader knocks it down. Blazers put that to the far side. Centering pass. Defoot steps up. Taken away by Bergeron. Bergeron comes in. Eagle with it. And it's put wide just to the near side. Great defensive play by Eagle. Here's Bergeron coming away with it. There's a shot right into the center mass of Webster. He's going to hang on to that one with 10:42 left in the third period. Just about halfway through the third period, and neither team has been able to add to their tally. We'll have the face-off far side in the Canadian zone. Blazers win it. They sweep the puck to the near side, picked up by Thiessen. Puts that down low for Kelly. Kelly spins out of the corner. Far side, there's a shot. Webster comes out and challenges. It's still loose. Oh, no, wait, they blew it down. As I think Dugan was putting that on net. Down low was Monroe trying to scoop it up for the Blazers, but Webster able to cover it up. 10:29 to go in the third period. Blazers win the next face-off. Shot from the point ends up going out of play and will reset on the far side of the Canadian zone. Shot from the point after the Blazers win the face-off. That is deflected into the near corner. Fed back to the point. Clemano was trying to sneak in, so it comes out to the neutral zone. Coming in the right side, Frostad steps in offside. Whistle goes, 10:07 to go in the third period. Canadians win a draw. Here they comes Morris up the left side. Hangs on. Fires that right into the middle of Narrator. He's going to hang on to that one. No rebound here with 9:57 to go in the third. Puck swept over. The Blazers goalie stops that. Comes out to center. Blazers get it back. Here's Rutan coming in the far side. Canadians trying to battle it out. Rutan keeps it in. At the point, Smith fires that down low. Webster with the save. Rebound cleared away by the Canadians. Smith receives the puck for the Blazers. Centering pass comes out. Frostad can keep it on his stick. Hoare got his stick in the legs of Graham, and Hoare will spend 2 minutes in the box for tripping, called with 9:26 to go in the third period. The draw near side in the Blazers zone, or in the Canadian zone. Canadians able to chip it down the ice. Hustling back for it to Ducher. And he sets up behind his own net. Far side for Cole. Gets it up the ice looking for Altman. It skips past him, and Turcotte gets that out to the neutral zone, and Burnett's going to put that down the ice. Blazers in their own zone. Clark over to Ducher. Taylor almost jumps on it. And Narrator, feeling the pressure, is going to cover it up with 8:50 to go in the third period. So the Blazers get a reset after turning it over in their own zone. We'll have a face-off on the near side. 1:25 left in the Blazers power play as they win the draw in their own zone. Moving it up the ice, number 10 Altman steps in offside, and the whistle goes with 8:44 to go in the third period. .118 left in the Blazers power play. They win another draw. Put to the far side, swept off by Schufelt. Loose puck picked up by Dolzal. Turned over at center. Richard will put that deep into the Blazers zone. Clark right up the middle for Amos. That skips past him. Icing called here with 57 seconds left in the Blazers power play and 8:23 to go in the third period. If the Canadians can somehow find 5 goals in the next 8.5 minutes, we will have a tie game, and tie games are allowed in round robin play. We do not play overtime. Save that for the championship game on Sunday. Blazers starting in their own zone. Here's Cavilla with it. Turned over. Shot by Zahara. That rises on him. Goes over the net. Kept in the near far side. Knocking it down was West, and he puts that into the corner. Blazers. Cavilla moves that up the near side. Chipped into the neutral zone. Eagle gets it. Throws it back out. Picked up by the Blazers. Swept to the wide side. Here's Amos with it. far side. Activating was number 8 Dotzel, but he couldn't receive the pass. Comes back to the point. Now the right side. There's a one-time shot by Bergeron. Blazers feed that back to the point. Near side held by Cavill. Puts that down low. Now to the far side to Dotzel. Comes off the boards. Canadians couldn't get it out of the zone. Here's a chance for Dotzel. We're rushing towards the net. Can't get the pass from Bergeron. Bergeron keeps control of it though. Cycles up high. There's a shot. Webster with the save. And play stops here with 7:03 to go in the third period. Canadians have killed off their penalty, and they'll take the draw on the near side in their own zone. Put over to the near side. Morris trying to move it up the boards. Comes over to Enrique Gomez. Moves that down the ice. It's going to go right on to Narrator. Cover it up. Because Burnett was hustling down the ice looking for a loose puck. .6:52 to go in the third period. Blazers win the face-off in their own zone. They move it up the near side. Trapped in their zone. They're going to reverse, try to go to the far side. Kelly picks up the puck. Steps off the boards. Throws it out to the neutral zone. It's going to roll down, chip down. So icing waved off. Morris with it. Move it to the far side. He's bumped against the boards. Blazers have it in the Canadian zone. Move down low. There's Thiessen with a shot. And Webster coming out for that one. Takes that off the crest and hangs onto it. With 6:24 left in the third period. Face-off will be near side in the Canadian zone. Blazers win the face-off in the Canadian zone. Frostad got a piece of it, chips it over the near side, looking for Morris. Comes into the slot, comes loose for Smith. Smith and Frostad battling for it. Smith comes away with the puck, gets it back to the point. Lamont with a shot blocker save. Webster comes off the glass, kept down low by Frostad, puts it up the boards, looking for Schufelt. That's knocked down. Cross ice pass, bounces off, but Thiessen keeps it in the zone. Morris, near side for Dollywall, gets that out to the neutral zone. Thiessen gets it, comes right back in the right side into the Canadian zone. Morris swaps that off the puck into the slot. That's cleared away by Richard. Richard puts that off the glass. Skips past Graham. It's a 2-on-1 back the other way. Dollywall, right side for Schufelt. Couldn't receive the puck cleanly. Picks it up, throws it out in front. The Blazers put that out to the neutral zone. Here's Turcotte. Trying to take the far side. Gets it out to the neutral zone. Blazers put it back in. Comes out to the neutral zone. West chips that into the Blazers zone. Picked up behind the net by Duchesne. Moves that to the far side to Monroe. Centering pass knocked down by the Canadians. They get it back in the zone. Young taken down in the corner there. Oh, keeps battling though. Comes loose for the Blazers who move it up the ice. Turned over. Turcotte has that. Turcotte hanging on to it. Near side. That was knocked down by the Blazers. Altman comes into the zone. Turcotte pushes him against the boards. Altman still comes away with the puck. Back to the point to Clark. That shot wide. That's to the far side for Monroe. Monroe takes that in the corner. Gets that off to Cole. Cole puts that back to the point. There's a shot by Duchesne. And Webster makes the save there. Hanging on with 4:16 to go in the third period. We'll have the face-off far side in the Canadian zone. Puck's dropped. Blazers directed towards the net. Goes wide. Eagle picks it up for the Canadians. Clark keeps that in for the Blazers. Goes to the far side for Bergeron. Intercepted by the Canadians. Kept hidden by the Blazers. Shot from the point. Hit his stick, comes over to the near boards. Bergeron in front. Good play there by Zahara to break up that centering pass, but the Blazers keep it in the zone. Comes back to the point. Clark with it. Put down low Zahara, another blocked shot. Loose puck comes over to Hoare. Hoare centers that, looking for Yamniak. Drops that back to Hoare. Loose puck. Yamniak got to chip it, but taken away by Doltzel. Dumped into the Canadian zone. Here's Duffett with it. Outlet to Hoare. Hoare flips that, looking for Zahara. It skips past him, but chipped up by Yamniak. Yamniak comes up the right side into the Blazers zone. Hoare comes from as a trail position and fires that on net. And we get a stop here with 3:08 to go in the third period. And it looks like Zahara slow to get... No, that's not Zahara. That is Yamniak slow to get up. Looks like he took a collision here. I didn't like that one because... we'll go to the replay. Oh, we're not going to get replays today. Okay. We're not going to get replays today. Oh, there's the replay button. Okay, well, Yamniak back to his skates, making his way to the bench. Face-off will be far side in the Blazers zone. 3:08 to go in the third period. Blazers win the draw. They move the puck over to the near side in their own zone. Morris keeps it alive. Centering pass. Skips to everybody. Picked up on the far side by the Blazers. Put out to Dugan. Dugan couldn't center that. It's knocked down by the Canadians. Back to the point to Bannerman. Bannerman's going to flip that to the far side to number 19, Rutan. Rutan, maybe Rutan. Center that, and Frosty takes it away. Over to Enriquez Gomez. Far side for Thorvaldson. Puts that deep into, and Plamondon picks that up for the Blazers. Lots of bodies falling here. Blazers break out. Here's number 19 to 10. Puts that left side. Put that in front, and Frostad will clear that the length of the ice. It'll end up being an icing call, but the Canadians will take that one. 2:07 left in the third period, and the Blazers comfortably in front 6-1 on the Canadians. Face-off will be near side in the Canadian zone. Canadians win it. Ulrich behind, sit around the boards for Turcotte. Jammed forward by Schufelt. Here's the Blazers taking it down low. Shot, Webster with the save. And play stops here. Is Webster able to pin it under his pad? Maybe he jumped on it with 1:50 to go in the third period. Puck's dropped. Blazers win it at the point. There's Thiessen with a shot. Fired wide by Altman. Rolls around the boards near side. Here's Thiessen. Keeps it alive. Ulrich got a piece of it for the Canadians. Over to Turcotte. Up to Schufelt. Schufelt can center that. Blazers get it back. There's a low shot. Webster with pad save. Moved loose. Schufelt sets that up for Richard. Richard coming up the right side. Gets the center and dumps that into the Blazers zone. Swept to the far corner. And yep, you can hear the fans calling out the tripping penalty against the Blazers late in the third period. This one with 1:01 to go in the game. Canadians will be on the power play. And the draw will be far side in the Blazers zone. Canadians win the draw. Here's Eagle. Near side for Duffett. Duffett fires that, but they're able to track that. Makes the stop with 54 seconds to go in the third period. Face off near side in the Warriors zone. Sorry, Blazers zone. Canadians win it. Back to the point. Eagle, right side. West sweeps that back to Eagle. Eagle fires that just wide of the mark. Duffett picks up the puck on the near side. Back to the point for Eagle. Right side for West. No, that was low shot by Duffett. Is tipped in front. And the Canadians had one late in the game. That one battling in front was, I don't know if it was number 12 or, I think it was Taylor. I think it was. Trying to look again. Oh no, it was West. Nope, it was Taylor. I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson Taylor. You did score that goal to bring your team within 4 with 30 seconds to go in the third period. Blazers turn it over to the neutral zone. Clark comes back for it. Far side. Frostad intercepts that for the Canadians. Put to the near side, looking for Core. He got a stick on that, but the Blazers D comes back for it. What's going on here? Oh, okay, the buzzer goes as we had some glitching going on with my computer. And the Lloydminster Blazers take this one comfortably, 6-2 to start the tournament. Canadians are back on the ice in less than 12 hours. Everybody go home real quick, get some rest. We will be back on the ice at 8:30 in the morning, where the Canadians will take on Medicine Hat. Forget tonight's troubles. Focus on the next game. Once again, thank you to Mr. Greg Eagle for working the camera this evening. My name is Curtis Bykowski. Thank you for tuning in. And if you get a chance, grab a coffee, wake up a little early, and we'll be back on the air at 8:30 tomorrow morning, where the Canadians will line up against the Medicine Hat. Oh, I already forgot the name. Medicine Hat Hounds. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, by the way, player of the game and hardest worker are going to be given away in the locker room. We'll have an